Hey there. Um, in our previous video, we talked about the three most common mistakes that small to medium-sized businesses make when it comes to hiring and filling roles in their company. Now I'm going to cover maybe what to do if you've already made those mistakes or how to unwind some of those mistakes. So just as a reminder, the three mistakes we talked about was number one, using a job description as a job posting online. Number two was automatically promoting people from within the company without really kind of analyzing what this role looks like that you're promoting them to. And then number three is this idea of starting with the person and trying to crowbar them into a position that they may not be equipped to succeed in. So of those three ones, the easiest one to fix is the job posting. So if you have a job description online right now and you're curious as to why you're not getting any action, it's because it's probably boring and blending in with the thousands of other job descriptions. So what we want to do is take that down and work with someone who can help you build a proper job posting. And the difference is there is that a job posting starts with the job focus first. What are the skills needed? What are the goals of this position? What are the KPIs? How are you going to measure success of that actual position? Then you move on to the person. What kind of attitudinal traits will be successful? What kind of skills do they need when they walk in the door? What motivates them? What gets them excited every day? And then also, what's their personality style? And how do they communicate? What's their patience level, their attention to detail? How they are they a good verbal communicator, written communication, all that's tied directly to that position. Once you have that information established, then you can craft a job posting that's exciting and engaging. And once you put that out into the world, you really start to see a huge difference in your applications. And it really gets people excited and you really stand out and you're memorable. And that's the most important thing there, is to be memorable. Number two, if you've already promoted someone from within the company and into a position of leadership or management and they're struggling or you're struggling with them, the first thing you got to do is really just take a step back and define that position. And it's a little harder because now you have personalities involved and real people that you care about. So it's a little tricky, but you got to really just define that role and what it's going to take to be successful in that role. Very similar to what we would do on the job posting exercise, is really define the role. What are the KPIs? What does success look like? What does the ideal candidate look like for that role? And then work with that person to kind of tailor them to that position, or you might have to change and put them in a different position. And chances are, if you're seeing how much they're struggling, they're seeing it too, and they're not happy either. And people like to be happy at their job. So they should be fairly open to maybe doing something a little bit different in that position. And then once you find out what the right spot for them is in the organization, then you can take that information that you worked on, you can craft a good job posting, like I mentioned before, and you can go find the right candidate outside the organization. Number three is you've already hired that family friend or relative into the position that they're not really equipped for. That's, again, another challenging people person challenge as far as that role. But again, it starts with going back and defining that role properly, similar to number two. Define the role. What kind of skills are needed? What's the attitude that's needed? What's the personality style that's needed for that role? How are you going to measure success for that role? And then really just kind of have those difficult conversations. And again, if somebody is not succeeding in that role, they know they're not succeeding in that role and they want help as well. So that's where you want to deploy a lot of empathy and also share with them the work that you've done and the conclusions you've come to and why you've come to them, and just be an open communicator with them. And then now you have done the heavy lifting, so you can jump out and get that job posting out on the internet and find the right candidate that will be a good fit. And then you can help your family friend or relative get into a position in the organization that makes sense for them. So I hope this information is helpful, and thanks again.